Aloha, shalom. So you may be going, huh? What does that mean as far as the title of this video? Accessing immortality through relationship. Whoa, that's pretty heavy. So this is not another twin flame video, first of all, but it is about healthy relationships. I don't want to just say conscious relationships because that can be a very misunderstood term. What is conscious, versus unconscious? What does that mean? Like somebody's knocked out? What does that mean? So I'm going to try to use different words and different terminology to better explain to you exactly what I'm trying to share here. There are two different ways to go about having a relationship in regard to this topic. The first way is, and I'm specifically going to talk about here romantic relationships. So let's just get that out of the way. This video is about romantic relationships. So when you're dating someone, or you're in union with someone, or you're married to someone, and you're constantly communicating with them and in relationship with them, you can either be relating from a place of awareness or a place of a lack of awareness. You can either be connecting with compassion or a lack of compassion. And each moment, it's a choice. When you really think about it, I want to say if everything is one, but because everything is, in fact, one, then everything is one big relationship. Everything is just, life is just relating to the self. And so life is a series of moments where each one we have to make a choice. We can choose compassion or not. We can choose blessing or curse. And the same applies to all relationships, family, friends, and romance. And so when you're with your partner, each moment, what are you choosing? Are you choosing to relate from a space of compassion or not? And how often are you choosing to relate from a space of compassion? And how often are you not? And I pray for you and myself and for all of us that we remember that we have all of the power within us that we need to each moment rise up to make that more conscious or high vibe decision to remain compassionate in our communications with each other. And even just within our own minds, our communications with ourselves, that internal dialogue. And so we hope that we will choose more often than not to relate from a space of compassion, right? So this is the thing. You have those relationships where you're just not able to be in your heart space. And then you have those relationships where you really are. And for most of us on this planet at this time, we haven't gotten to have that experience where we are consistently, each moment, choosing to meet each other in that space of compassion and really remain there and choose again and again and again to live from that space and to express and also receive from that space. But this is the difference when you do begin to have that experience. And I really wanted to share this with you all because I've been journaling about it a lot. And I think it's so important to talk about it and bring awareness to it so that we can create more of it in our own lives and in the lives of those around us. So that's why I'm sharing today. Let's look at what it does look like when you actually have a conscious relationship, when you actually are going deeper in a relationship where you're both able to remain in a space of compassion. Have you ever even asked yourself what that would look like? Most likely no, because you're so caught up in your own story, the details and the material entanglement of your life story. Maybe you're stuck, like a lot of us, in a space of self-victimization. But whatever it is, the point is, most of us have not even tried to envision what that would look like, to have this conscious relationship. Because there's a part of us that doesn't believe it could be, doesn't believe it could happen. But it absolutely can, and we need to start with believing that it can. And then we need to actually see it. And within our mind's eye, use our imagination to really see the details of what that would look like. Really feel into what it would feel like to have that experience. So this video is to help give you some inspiration to begin to envision that and begin to really deepen the belief that it's, of course, possible. And not only is it possible, we're here to make it happen. It's part of our life's mission. As a byproduct of our shared collective mission of bringing heaven to earth, this additional mission is born. Okay, we're all here to bring heaven to earth. And again, a byproduct of that is creating and co-creating conscious relationships, healthy relationships, okay? Bringing heaven to earth in the personal experience looks like, simply put, embodying and actualizing the light of the virtues. And when you're on a mission to do good, be kind, be of service, embody and actualize the virtues, then you will, by law, attract others who are doing the same. And then there comes the potential for you to have a romantic relationship with someone who's meeting you on that mission. And then it becomes an effortless romance, divine romance, alchemical marriage, right? Because you're already doing that within. When you're already clearly defining your polarities and allowing them to have a unified and harmonious voice and expression through you, you attract the same into your life. And then naturally your polarities and the polarities of the other individual begin to intertwine, and that creates a whole new voice made of their synergy. And so that becomes effortless. So first of all, it's absolutely possible. But you have to be on your mission first. You have to show the universe that you are really keeping your will alive to do good. You are consciously, with awareness, choosing to use your will for good each moment. And when you really commit yourself to a virtuous path, and I mean really not just like do, one good thing today and forget about it for a few weeks. I mean really each moment commit to being the best person that you can be. Then you will attract those people into your experience, and there comes the potential for a conscious or, a high vibrational relationship. Okay, then from there, what happens is you begin to communicate from this virtuous plane, this dimension of compassion. And when you both are there, it creates a bridge of light. Truly. And what happens is when you're embodying those virtues, what you're really embodying are frequencies of light, literally, that are timeless. Frequencies that are unaffected by time and space. And so the more you hold, embody, and express that virtuous light, the more you bring your consciousness to a space of immortality. And when you're doing it together, it is a greater and more powerful force. It's multiplied. And so what happens is you, together in this sacred union, create an aura around you of timelessness. And this aura can be seen as your bubble of protection, your bubble of solace. It's like a shield. And you can reverse the aging process. Of course, there are, of course, it's not just, it's easier said than done, right? It takes really remaining aware in each moment and making the best choice that you can possibly make each moment within the relationship and within your individual experience. But when you can both meet each other there consistently, you create this aspect of timelessness that fills you and surrounds you as an individual and in sacred union. And sure, there will be bumps in the road, but as long as you, and the tarot teaches this, and many ancient cultures will teach you this as well, that when you hit a bump in the road, as long as you use it as fuel to grow, then you will continue to multiply the effect of this virtuous light upon you, creating this immortal consciousness, this self-conscious immortality. So of course, it's not realistic to think there will never be bumps in the road. That's a part of life. But so long as you can use those bumps in the road as lessons to rise above, right? Because without the challenge, there's nothing to transcend. As long as you can use those moments as purpose, to feel your purpose, then you will continue to grow in that direction, expanding the light of eternity, of immortality within yourself and within your relationship, which then expands from within you to outside of you and touches everyone you meet and touches the world and beyond. So not only do you benefit from it, the one benefits from this sacred union and this compassionate relating. Then let's look at relationships that are not of this high vibration. Your typical everyday, boyfriend and girlfriend you see walking down the street. You might not feel, when you're in their presence, this holy effect. Whereas if you were to pass by this high vibrational couple in the street, it's almost like you feel, not almost, you feel their love. And you're inspired and you're moved by it. And it's like you're touching this immortal light that they're emitting. But again, in contrast, when you're coming across, the average boyfriend and girlfriend, arm in arm in the street, you're not at all moved. You may not even notice them. And the thing is, they're not choosing to relate with awareness and compassion like the other couple. More often than not, they're choosing to relate from a space that doesn't have compassion, where there is no compassion. And maybe it's just ignorance, or maybe it's just a lack of awareness. But nonetheless, they are creating an aura, both individually and in union. They're creating an aura that is, not immortal. It's not giving off that quality. It's not of that quality. They are creating an aura individually and together as a couple of sort of like a prison. It creates, when you're not relating from that high vibrational space, and that space of compassion, it creates sort of like a prison around you. And again, this is both for the individual and the relationship. The relationship only multiplies the effect. So when you're relating from that space where there's a lack of compassion with your partner, you constantly hit these plateaus where you can't grow anymore. It's like you're hitting a wall. And so you relate to each other in this way that's very low vibrational, and you don't cultivate that light of the virtues within you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You cultivate the darkness of the vices. And these are the forces that neutralize that light of the virtues, which is the light of immortality that you definitely came here to cultivate, because that's our shared mission. So when you're not relating from a space of compassion, you're creating more darkness, more suffering, and more disease within yourself, within your sacred union with your beloved, with your partner, and within the one collective. You can only choose one or the other. Either you're embodying the light of the virtues and you're communicating from that space, actualizing that light, or you're not. So if you're in a relationship where you're embodying vice and not virtue, for example, you're embodying a lack of forgiveness, a lack of honesty, okay? You're being dishonest, you're being impatient, you're being angry more often than you're being kind and forgiving and patient. Okay, so when you find yourself more often being in that dark space, then that is the energy that you're creating for yourself, for your partnership, and for the world. And that energy of the vices creates literally a prison. It's a time-space prison. and you feel like you're suffocating and you feel stuck and you feel like you can't grow, you're not inspiring your partner, you're not inspiring the world, because there's a lack of compassion, there's a lack of love, there's a lack of light. And so you suffer because of that. You're not inspiring anyone, so in turn you don't feel inspired. You're not inspiring to yourself. Your own reflection shows you nothing but darkness. And that creates suffering, it creates disease, and it creates a speeding up of the aging process. So if I were to put it in really simple words, it's like, unhealthy relationships versus healthy relationships. The unhealthy relationship creates opportunities for disease and decay and early death. And healthy relationships create an opportunity for age reversal and for achieving self-conscious immortality, which is the goal on the royal path of life for all of us. Don't we all want that? To reverse the aging process, or to at least feel good here now. So again, remember, when you are embodying the light of the virtues, you are embodying a light that is timeless, that is not bound by time and space. And so your consciousness resonates with that light when you're embodying it, and you literally shift your cells to resonate with this timeless frequency. And you can utilize your sacred union, your partnership, as a ritual to actualize that light of the virtues, or that light of compassion, which is the all virtuous light containing them all. And you can multiply the effects of your efforts through this sacred union, uplifting not only yourself, but also your partner together as one, which is then a microcosm of the entire collective mind and the collective world. Or you can use your relationship to continue to cultivate darkness and suffering, creating what feels like a prison in your mind, in your being, and in the world. So you see, relationship can literally be a vehicle to achieve immortality. Whoa, I said it. Some people are going to watch this and say, oh my God, this girl's crazy. I don't care. I've been journaling about this for days, and I've been wanting to share this with you guys because, again, it is possible. I'm not going to call it a twin flame, but of course it's possible to have a relationship that is healthy, where of course you will have bumps in the road, you will experience challenges, but so long as you remain aware and you actively direct your will toward the mission of rising above those challenges with greater strength than you had before the challenge, then you will continue in the direction of progression on your mission, of expansion on your spiritual path and your psychological path. Okay, so when you relate to your partner with love, with compassion, with truth, that truth truly uplifts you both and raises you to this frequency that is timeless. It's absolutely possible. You deserve it, and the world needs it. And one really great way to begin attracting that, now that you know it's possible, is not only envisioning it and feeling it, but knowing that if you ask the Creator to bring you this relationship, not just for self-serving purposes, but for purposes of serving the one self, it will come to you in a way that's more sustainable and in a way that's more graceful and divinely orchestrated. Everything is, anyway. But when you ask, right, it's like this. You could either ask the Creator, you could pray, you can envision and say, I want to attract this relationship because it's going to be good for me. It's going to, it's going to give me a chance to feel love and to love someone. No, let's make it bigger than that. Let's tie it to our purpose. Let's tie it to the collective, and let's say, hey, Creator, I'm letting us know, we're letting us know, because we're one, that I'm ready for this relationship because I now understand the opportunity that lies within that relationship to raise my consciousness to this frequency of immortality, so that through me, the whole world can be uplifted to that timeless space. Creator, I'm ready for this relationship because I understand now the opportunity that lies therein for me to cultivate your light, the light of compassion, the all virtuous light of the Creator. I know that this relationship will offer me that opportunity, and that is truly the way to bring heaven to earth. So when you understand this relationship, this idea that conscious relationship or healthy relationship or virtuous connection, when you understand that that has the opportunity within it for you to progress spiritually and psychologically, then you have no shame in asking for that relationship to come into your life. It's like, do you think the Creator would give you something if it was, just going to bring temporary satisfaction? If it was only going to, serve you in some selfish way? No. When you serve the Creator serves you. When you serve nature and life's creations, they also serve you. So you want to tie this idea of having a partner to your purpose. And it's easy to do when you understand the opportunity that lies within conscious relationship and high vibrational relationship. Literally, there's a key within it to achieve self-conscious immortality, which again, not only heals you, but it heals your partnership and it heals the collective. So don't be afraid to ask and shift from this idea that you just, I deserve it. You more than deserve it. It's your mission to have, and maybe you're, and maybe you're not monogamous. I don't really care. I see us all as one anyway. Whatever your beliefs are, I really don't care. It still applies. This truth still applies because you can access this key really in all relationships. I made it about romance because there are elements to that I think we all really relate to. And I think it's the fastest way to begin to seed this understanding into our consciousness when we tie it to romance, especially because so many people are asking about twin flames and all that these days. But really, it's all relationships. There is a key within relationships. There's a key within the way in which we relate, even to ourselves, within our own minds. There's an opportunity to achieve timelessness consciousness. And again, you more than deserve that. It's why you're here. It's not just for you, it's for us. So think on that one. And if you are just tuning in now, you're tuning in a little late to the video, feel free to wait till it's about to be over and start from the beginning again. Basically, this video was just to explain the difference between a relationship where there's a lack of compassion and there's and the relationship where there is overflowing compassion. One creates disease and decay and early death, and one creates health and prosperity and timelessness consciousness. So which one do you want to experience? Thanks for joining, you guys. And if you have any questions, please feel free to private message me. If you want to begin to understand more of how to embody and actualize the light of the virtues, the tarot is an amazing tool to do this if you use it appropriately. And unfortunately, modern tarot teaches a lot of information that comes with manipulation, which is nothing to be afraid of. However, it limits you and doesn't allow you to get the full initiation that really does come with the tarot when you understand it from the right perspective. So if you want to learn the ancient technique of tarot, which means royal path, you can start with my book number 1. I've got the Royal Path 1 and the Royal Path 2, and 1 starts with the major arcanum characters of the tarot, meaning the major cards of the deck, which are the main perspectives of the individual mind and the collective mind. So they're aspects of you that you want to be able to get in touch with, that you want to have a clearer definition of, so that you can tune into their guidance and in any moment, because it's within you. So if you want to understand how to tap into those places within your own mind and within your own heart, please ask me about my book. You can find it online, but I'd love to ship you a copy signed with a special symbol inside. I could actually show it to you. I write that in every book that I sign and send, and I sign my name in Hebrew here. So if you want a copy and you want to start activating your archetypal alliance and you want to start understanding how to embody the light of the virtues, these characters help you do it in a way that's understandable. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow for the Kabbalistic or mystical explanation of this weekend's Torah story. And I will also see you tomorrow for the first quarter activation. I love you guys. Shalom.